This question is 2017 Waec Maths question. So let's break it down. This is the option. Solution. Since the options has to deal with n, so let's consider everything in base n. So that will be, let me put it this way, 1 plus n equal to 100, all in base n. So let's start with 1. 1 base n equal to, this is 0. So that is 1 times n raised to the power of 0. That is 1 times, that is 1 times n raised to the power of 0 is 1. So the answer is 1 times 1 is 1. The next one we have n. So we have n times the base n raised to the power of 1 plus n times the base n raised to the power of 0. So this is n times n raised to the power of 1 is n raised to the power of 2, because n times n is n times n is n squared plus n. Any number raised to the power of 0 is 1. So n times 1 is n. So that is the answer. The next one we have 100 in base n. This is 0, 0, and 1. So we have 1 times the base raised to the power of 1 plus 0 times n raised to the power of, sorry. This is 0, 1, 2. So this is the raised to the power of 2. 0 times n raised to the power of 1 plus 0 times n raised to the power of 0. So 1 times n raised to the power of 2 is n squared plus 0. 0 times n, any number multiplied by 0 is 0, plus any number multiplied by 0 is 0. So the answer is n raised to the power of 2. Okay? And let's take this to the next one. From the question, we have 1 plus n equal to 100. So we know that 1, the answer is 1 plus n. The answer is n squared plus n equal to 100 is n raised to the power of 2. So in this form, let's open this bracket. 1 plus n raised to the power of 2 plus n equals to n raised to the power of 2. Now let's collect like terms. That will be n1 plus, this is n raised to the power of 2, and this is plus. So let's collect like terms. That is 1. This is plus n raised to the power of 2. When positive, because the sign of equality is also negative, so we are going to have here plus n equal to n squared. This is positive, but the sign of equality is also negative. That is minus n squared. So we have 1 plus n equal to n squared minus n squared is 0. So this is the answer from the question. The answer is C. This case we can do something like this. If you are looking for n, so that will be n equal to 0. This is plus 1. When the closest sign of equality is also minus 1. So n equal to minus 1. So in this case, note plus n is the same thing as n plus 1.